Welcome to Tech Brothers. In this video, we're going to talk about what is replication, what are the types of replication available in SQL Server, and when to use each type under what scenario. So let's talk about what replication is. Replication is actually a SQL Server feature. It's back behind the scene, different technologies put together to replicate the data. So when I talk about replication of data, that means you have a source and you have a destination. And in replication architecture, the source, the SQL Server SQL Server instance, and the database and the data in the database that you wanted to distribute from source to destination, that's called publisher. So, but if you really wanted to go in detail how to configure that, watch my rest of the videos. But in this, I'm just gonna briefly talk about the architecture. So we have a publisher, and then we have a distributor. Distributor is the server, or agent, I would say, that could distribute the data to the subscriber. So subscriber is the server that receives the data. It has subscriber could be a SQL Server instance, or it could be Oracle data. It could database. It could be DB2 or any other actually destination that you would like to have the data distributed to. So that's real quick the architecture of the replication. Publisher, the one that gives the data, where the data is being read, and distributor is the one that who knows this is my publisher, this is my subscriber, so I'm gonna go get the data from publisher and I'm gonna give it to subscriber. Subscriber is the destination. So that's a real quick overview of the architecture of replication. Now let's talk about the types of replication. There are three types of replication. One is snapshot replication, other is transactional replication, and then merge replication. So under what scenario do we use each type? Just briefly tell you, snapshot is a heart of replication. All other the remaining two type of replication uses actually snapshot replication in the beginning. So if you have a requirement that you need to distribute data to different subscriber, and that subscriber doesn't need the real-time data. It could be like a one day, the latency could be like one day. They just need data, last night's data, and they're good with that. Then under that circumstances, the snapshot replication is the best way to go. Transactional replication comes into play when you need a real-time data. As soon as some updates, delete, or whatever the change in data at the source level, at the publisher level happens, you need to distribute that update to all the subscriber. That's when you configure transactional replication, because as the name suggests, as soon as the transaction happens, commits, then it's going to go to the subscriber. So there are other detail that how that happens back behind the scene. I'll explain in my remaining video about replications. But so far I just wanted to give you a touch base if somebody asks you in an interview these questions. And merge replication, if you have a requirement that you need to keep publisher and subscriber in sync, whatever happens on the subscriber side needs to replicate to the publisher, and publisher side needs to happen on the subscriber. So in that scenario, actually subscriber will act as a publisher when it needs to give away the data, and on the publisher side, when it receives the data, it will also act as subscriber. So in this way, the distributor knows that publisher can also be subscriber at times, and subscriber can also be publisher at time. So that's a real quick overview of these three questions. I hope it helps.